Please, let's give the greatest, warmest round of applause to our Secretary of the Army, Army Christine Wormuth.
Thank you so much, Robert and Lupita, for such a wonderful, truly heartfelt, really warm introduction. I'm a crier, too, so, you know, I feel very comfortable with that. And I also want to thank Donna and Sergeant Major Ruiz. I want to echo the comments you made about how great it is to look out at this audience and see all of our services represented. You know, probably the most obvious manifestation of my commitment to the Joint Force is the fact that I'm married to a retired Navy officer. But I've spent a lot of my career in the Office of the Secretary of Defense and have had the opportunity to work with all of the services. And while I'm extremely proud to be the Secretary of the United States Army, when it comes to winning wars and protecting this country, it is the Joint Force that's going to get the job done. It's not one service alone. It's going to be all of us together. And this is, you know, a great expression of that joint strength. So thank you. I'm also really grateful, of course, to Latina Style for inviting me here today. It sounds like this morning was a terrific set of events, and it sounds like it's been a great opportunity for all of you to gain knowledge, empowerment, and inspiration. And it's really just an honor to be here today to speak alongside the other speakers and celebrate the accomplishments of an amazing group of young women service members, and also have the opportunity to celebrate Hispanic Heritage Month. So it's, again, wonderful to be here. For the United States Army, Hispanic Heritage Month is a particularly important celebration. Since 1779, we've had volunteers from Cuba, Puerto Rico, and Mexico who fought for American independence. And ever since then, Latinos have served with distinction in the Army. From Corporal Joseph de Castro, who was awarded the Medal of Honor for his actions during the Battle of Gettysburg, to General Cavazos, who was the first Latino four-star general who fought in Korea and Vietnam, we recognize the service, dedication, and sacrifice that Latino soldiers have displayed in the Army and across all of the branches of our armed forces. Latinos have been an integral part of our history and are today an integral part of our military, both in uniform and wearing civilian clothes, from the most junior to the most senior levels of the organization. I'm very proud, for example, to have the opportunity to work every day with Undersecretary of the Army, Gabe Camarillo, and Deputy Undersecretary of the Army, Mario Diaz, who are two of DoD's most senior leaders. And they're also two of my closest, most trusted advisors. Together with our colleagues in uniform, the three of us, me, Gabe, and Mario, are proud to lead an institution that celebrates diversity as a key source of our strength. Our mission demands that we face every threat with ingenuity and determination, and the surest way to succeed in our mission is to build an army that draws on the talents of all qualified Americans. We've seen over the history of our nation and our Army that we are strongest when we reflect the public that we serve. And that's not a political statement. It is just a simple fact. Americans' trust, I believe, in our military and in our Army is stronger when they can see themselves in our ranks. And when I look out at this audience, I see an abundance of ingenuity and strength in the Latina women who are here today, but in also all of the people who are here today, whether you are mentors, allies, friends, sponsors. There just is an incredible amount of talent in this room. Latinas make up more than 20% of all women who serve on active duty in the Army. And I can attest that these women are making an outsized impact in units across our force every day. That impact is really clear in the stories of our awardees and our Latina soldiers that are here in this room. For example, the Army relies on experts like Chief Warrant Officer 2, Angelic Smith. Where are you? Are you here? Perfect. CW2 is a geospatial engineer and the Army's first artificial intelligence technician, and you are helping us gain a competitive advantage in emerging technologies, so thank you. Chief Smith is at the forefront of research for our Army, and she's also at the forefront of intense competition as she coaches a team of 3rd and 4th graders to compete in Pennsylvania's state STEM competition. All across the Army, we see examples of strong Latina leadership. In Staff Sergeant Martha Arosa, stand up if you're here. Martha is an accomplished physical therapist, triathlon competitor and coach. I'm planning to run the Army Trend Miler. Maybe you can help me a little bit. And is a non-commissioned officer in charge of the largest physical therapy clinic in the Department of Defense. I want to also recognize Lieutenant Colonel Maribel Lee. Are you here, Maribel? Good to see you. Maribel is one of the driving forces behind the Army's fantastic female mentorship and morale program, and you have worked tirelessly to advocate for your fellow women in uniform while also raising 2 children and taking care of your mom. I know the strength that Latinas bring to our Army because I've also had the opportunity and the good fortune to have them in my personal office. Colonel Lourdes Costas, who's in the audience today, Lourdes, stand up. Colonel Costas is the Army's senior-ranking Latina Air Defense Officer, so needless to say, she is busy. Colonel Costas has spent 21 years leading air defense units, including command of a Patriot missile battalion deployed to the Middle East. And in her free time, she is mother to 3 boys, one of whom joined the Army just recently as an officer. And she is the kind of role model that I know is already inspiring lots of Latina young women in our military. It's great to see you, Lourdes. Having spent most of my career inside the Department of Defense, I also know a little bit about how difficult it can be sometimes for women in the national security field. I know how hard it can be sometimes, and I know how difficult the effects of discrimination, harassment, and assault can be to retaining and empowering women in this field. And I know how hard it is sometimes to just withstand and get past the casual dismissiveness, the uninformed assumptions, and sometimes, frankly, the just plain dumb comments that still get made today and kind of come with the territory if you're a woman in this field. But happily, we have made a lot of progress in the last 75 years. And I can say, you know, I've seen a lot of progress in the 25-odd years of my career so far. We've had a lot of progress since women have been able to serve as regular members in the military. We still have a lot of work to do, but I can tell you the Army is committed to changing and doing better. We are continuing in the Army to work hard to build cohesive teams, reduce harmful behaviors, and be an organization that values individuals for their unique skills and experiences. Because we need strong women in our Army if we are going to remain the world's greatest land fighting force. And we also need women to lead our soldiers. And while Latina women today are significantly underrepresented in our general officer population, given all the talent that I see out here in this audience today, I know this is going to change soon as well. The Army can't change overnight, but I am truly encouraged when I see officers like Lourdes Costas, because I know that not only is she an incredible officer, but behind her there are incredibly talented Latinas who are coming up to take her place and are going to be ready to stand up and serve in the highest positions in our Army. And I also want to say that as a mother of two, they're now young women, not girls, I also know how challenging it can be to face sometimes what seems like a choice between family and career. And this is something I think, men and women in our armed forces face. This is not just an issue for women. But I'm also here to tell you, and I think officers like Maribel Lee and Lourdes will tell you, you can do both. You can have an amazing career in our military and be a parent, and you can excel at both. And I'm proud to say that the Army has been taking considerable steps to make it possible to do both, to be a parent and to be excellent in your job. We are doing that today more than ever before. In just this past year, for example, we have extended our parental leave policies to 12 weeks of paid leave for new parents, in addition to whatever leave you might need to convalesce. We have funded 8 new child development centers since 2021, with 5 more centers planned by 2026. And we've invested $3 billion to replace and renovate our family housing to make sure that our Army families are living in safe, comfortable conditions. And for those of you who are already in the military, you know how important this is. And you know also how important it is to have supportive communities behind you. And that's why we have partnered with Latino communities all around the nation to help us talk about the benefits of military service. Recruiting in the last couple of years has been quite challenging for the Army, and I think several of our sister services as well. I know you Marines continue to do a great job. But there are some pretty significant headwinds out there, but we have really seen the Latino community come out and support the armed forces in our efforts to recruit folks. This year, we actually have 25% of our new recruits who are Latino, and I think that says a lot about how the Latino community sees service to this country, and I want to say thank you for that. It's really a huge testament to the work that's being done by our recruiters in places like Los Angeles, New York, Miami, San Antonio, but it's also a testament to all of you who are walking around in your communities or going back to visit your families. You all are seen as role models and mentors to the next generation. All of you are leaders in your families, and you are ambassadors to your community. I think so many people, so many young people, look up to you as you share your values and your excellence and your professionalism. So I want to say, and I've said this to a lot of audiences this year as I've gone out and talked about recruiting and talked about all of the opportunities in the United States Army. National service can take on a lot of different forms. One way to do it is to put on a uniform and serve. Another way to do it is to become a teacher or join the police force or become a nurse or a doctor. There are a lot of ways to serve. But the young people in your communities are looking at you to see an example of how they can be the best version of themselves. And I think one great example of someone who is being their best self is Miss Isabel Diaz-Good. Isabel, are you here? Oh, all right. Oh, there you are. Great. Miss Diaz-Good is an accomplished electronics engineer and Army civilian who is a division chief as part of our Army Futures Command, which is a great new command we stood up in 2018. Isabel does cutting-edge research for the Army and mentors college students at the University of Texas El Paso and New Mexico State University. She also gives back to her church and her community and is a great example of someone who is inspiring young people. So thank you so much, Isabel. A few more examples of folks who are inspiring people in their communities are Cadet Olivia Shackleton. Are you here, Olivia? Olivia enlisted in the Army and deployed to Iraq, where she used her language skills to help communicate with our allies and partners who were Spanish-speaking serving in Iraq. She then entered ROTC at Mississippi State University and again worked with local high school students to help with an English as a second language program. And I also want to particularly recognize you and thank you because she has inspired so many people that for 3 weeks she was leading the Army in our new enlisted referral program. She single-handedly found 45 college candidates and connected them to Army recruiters. So these women, Isabel, Olivia, have shown their communities the possibilities and the opportunities that the Army offers. And I know, again, our sister services offer tremendous opportunities as well. All of us offer leadership opportunities, mentorship opportunities, life skills, certifications, as well as financial and educational benefits. And I'm really proud of our awardees who took advantage of those opportunities, like Captain Anna Zamora. Anna, are you here? Ah, there's Anna. Anna is a Division I collegiate strength coach who joined the Army National Guard and earned her degree and commission as a Medical Service Corps officer. She completed a master's degree in sports management and now works at the National Guard Bureau developing the Army's health and fitness programs. You too can help me train for the 10-miler. Similarly, I'm proud of Cadet Julia Rodriguez. Julia, are you here? Well, I will sing her praises even though she apparently isn't here. Julia enlisted as a military police officer and eventually became one of our drill sergeants. She is now working on her master's degree in organizational leadership where she has a 4.0 GPA, and she hopes one day to earn a doctorate as an Army officer. So again, another inspiring individual. And I'm also proud of Cadet Ashley Garcia. Ashley, are you here? Oh, fantastic. Ashley immigrated from Venezuela and joined the Army as a supply specialist and is a paratrooper in the 82nd Airborne. Did you see them on America's Got Talent? Woo! Airborne all the way. They're in the finals. So everybody vote for the 82nd Airborne Chorus. The Army recognized Ashley's talents and offered her the opportunity to earn a degree and commission as an officer. She's now working on her bachelor's degree in Health Service Administration at the University of Central Florida. All of these women have taken the opportunities that the Army has provided and have chosen to serve the nation while also giving back to their communities and families. Some of you may know that the Army recently brought back its classic Be All You Can Be slogan, and these women, our Army awardees, are showing us every day what that means. And I want all Latinas everywhere across the country to know the kinds of opportunities and possibilities we offer in the Army and in our sister services. So I'm going to wrap up and say, today is a day to applaud everyone in this room who decided to be part of something larger than themselves, like Sergeant Major Ruiz talked about, and who decided to serve the public. And all of our awardees across all of our services are serving the public and serving this country in their own individual ways. I am incredibly proud to lead an Army that values the contributions that Latinos have made throughout our long history. And I'm also very proud, as the Secretary of the Army, to have these 8 exceptional, strong, bold, and brilliant Latinas representing the very best that our Army has to offer. Thank you. To all of the awardees here today, whether you're in the Air Force, the Space Force, the Navy, the Marine Corps, or the Coast Guard, you are proof that Latinas are an irreplaceable part of our armed forces. The country relies on you and your courage and your determination. You've all accomplished so much. Don't stop here. And what you are doing today inspires generations of people all across the country. So congratulations to all of the awardees from all of the services, and thank you so much for giving me a little bit of your time today. I really appreciate it.